this phone holder thing in my car this morning, trying to get the best angle for you guys so that I can finally do. This is gonna be the last part, y'all, of who the F did I make a baby doll with, because I just have so many other things that I want to be focused on right now that I don't even want to deal with this. Like, this could go on for a very long time, but I'm gonna cut it short because I know y'all want tea. I know y'all want to know what's tea, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell it. So the last thing that we spoke up on is the fact that little mama wouldn't leave. We had broke up at this point, you guys. This might be TMI for some people, but we were still intimate. We were still sharing the bed, but we weren't in a relationship. So I allowed her to stay with me to get on her feet. Plus, she was about to have that surgery for her LP shunt to be put in. She did have the surgery. I was there. I was there, as well as the fake pastor mother. She was there as well. She tried to lie and say that I didn't give her updates on what was happening while the surgery was going on. It wasn't my part to do that. I didn't like the lady anyway, so why would I? She was on Keisha's paperwork to speak to her doctors anyway, so that's neither here nor there. I was at the hospital the entire time she was having the surgery. I never left the hospital until she got out of surgery. Once I found out that she was moved to a room, they said that she was doing good. I left because my oldest daughter was with me at the hospital, so we both left, and I took her home, and I went and grabbed something to eat to go back to the hospital to meet her in her room. Now, I was in her room before the doctors brought her out. Then they changed it to a different room, so then I had to go to a different floor, and she was there when I came up to that floor. She was very tired, a little lethargic. She wanted me to clean her up because she had ended up, using the bathroom. She couldn't get up to do it, so I did. I cleaned her up, you guys. I worked in the medical field at this time for over 15 years, so I'm very advanced at all those things. That's why they were telling me that it would be a good idea for her to go home with me because I knew what I was doing. They did let me know what kind of care for her wound that we needed to do and the what's and nots to do. So we did stay at the hospital for a day or two, and then she was able to go home. I'm sorry, y'all, my turning signal was on. I gotta follow the rules of the law. So the rules of the road, rather. Sorry. But anyways, I took her home. Y'all, she couldn't do much because the LP shunt was put in her spine, through her back, and her side. The port was put in her side. So she had 2 areas that were incisions on her side and in her back. I had to clean them. Also, she had a bedside commode because she at times couldn't make it to the bathroom. She still struggled to walk, and she had a walker as well. I would help her use the bathroom, and I would wipe her. I mean, like I said, none of that is disgusting to me because I was in the medical field for over 15 years. And some people are probably like, damn, you even wiped this girl's ass. Yes, I did. I took care of her after she had her surgery. She was very combative. She didn't want to listen. She was hard-headed as hell. I was supposed to be dressing and cleaning the wound way more than what I was supposed to be, and she wouldn't allow me to because she said it hurt so bad, but I was letting her know, like, you're going to get an infection. And lo and behold, she got an infection. She didn't want to walk. The doctors were telling her that she had to walk around to help the area because it was going to tense up and she was going to be in even more pain. That happened too, because she's hard-headed. She didn't want to listen to anything that the doctors were telling her to do. So yes, the wound got infected. It was disgusting, y'all. It was pussy. It was green stuff coming out of her back. Like, she's a grown woman at this point. I can't tell her what to do. You know what I'm saying? So that did happen. We went to wound care to try to, get that under control and everything. So it started to heal a little bit better, but things between us still weren't that great. And I was telling her, like, I'm tired. I'm giving you 30 days to get a job. We can have a roommate situation until my lease is up, or you can take your job and you can go get your own apartment. This is where I was at this point. Like, I didn't even want anything to do with her. Then it became to where I was like, you know what? No, you just have 30 days just to find you a job so you can just get out of my apartment, because I'm over it. I'm over all of this. Like, you're not trying to do anything. You're not trying to help me financially, and I'm drowning. I'm drowning, and I'm drowning, and you're not concerned about my well-being or the well-being of my children. You have to go. Like, just go. And it became very intense. So, like, it really was a roommate situation, you guys. Like, we really didn't, it wasn't, none of that was going, no motion at all. So, excuse me, one second. So this particular day, we had dropped my daughter and my niece off at the skating ring. My niece was with us. She had came to live with us for a while, and we had dropped them two off at the skating ring, and we had came back home. My other daughter was working, so she was at work at the time, and I wrote her a letter, and in the letter I was just, I was making documentation of what the county clerk told me to do. I had to give her notice that I wanted her out and state the reasons why. That way she couldn't say that, like, it was basically brought onto her, like, without her knowing. So I did exactly that, and she wanted to talk, but she was sitting in her car, and I was in the house having a glass of wine. So she asked me to come outside to talk to her, and I really didn't want to, but I did anyway. I was just trying to be polite or whatever. So I brought my glass of wine outside, and we sat in her car, and we were talking about the situation. And she was just telling me how basically her family problems, and trying to, that big sob story to make me feel some type of way and allow her to, stay. And I was just like, no, I stood on business. Like, baby, no, you got to go. I'm tired of carrying you. You also told me when you get a job that you're going to focus on your own bills and you're not going to help this household. So you're just an extra body here for no reason. You need to go, because I could do bad by myself. I don't need you here. I've been holding this shit down this whole time by myself, so what are you here for? I hope you don't think it's because it's sexually, because, baby, I can get sex anywhere. I mean, anybody in this world can. I'm just saying. So, we were going back and forth about that situation, and so my daughter calls, and they're ready to get picked up from the skating rink. So she doesn't even, she just takes off with me in the car to go get him. Okay, cool. And we're arguing at this point. We're arguing. And y'all, it was just like everything flashed before my eyes. Like, our whole entire situationship. Like, every bad thing she did to me. Everything she lied about. Like, it was just weird. Like, it was like a movie, and I just snapped, and I had that cup, that glass of that wine goblet in my hand, and I just splashed it in her face while she was driving, y'all. Yes, I'm sorry, at that moment I didn't care about anything. I was just so over all of it. And yeah, she was driving. So yeah, we were on the highway when that happened, and she started screaming. So she started screaming, she wipes her face, and she takes off down the highway. We're supposed to be picking up my daughter and my niece from the skating rink. She drives me 2 hours out somewhere in the middle of Alabama, and y'all, it probably looked weird because I had to cut that part out because I said the real state. But anyways, in the middle of Alabama on this dirt road, and she just stops the car on the dirt road. I guess it was a scare tactic. It did scare me though at the time. I'm not even gonna lie. It definitely scared me. I thought that I was finna lose my life. This was not a laughing matter at all. I called my child and I was calm because I did not want to scare her, but I know I scared her. I was very calm and I told her, I said, baby, I'm gonna get you guys an Uber from the skating rink. And she said, well, Mom, I thought you were coming to get us. And I said, I can't. And she asked me why. And I said, well, I'm in the car with her. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I am. And she immediately started screaming and crying. And I tried to calm her down as much as I could. And I was like, it is okay. I'm going to be okay. I'll figure this out. I just want you and your cousin to get home safe. I'm going to figure this out. And she kept screaming and crying. And she told me she was going to call the police. And I told her, like, I understand. That's what you want to do. It's okay. You can call the police. But Deja, they're not going to be able to find me because I don't know where I am. So by this time, while I'm saying this to my daughter, she's on the phone with someone, and she's telling them, I don't know what she's telling them, like she's being really romantic and crazy at this point. So I'm trying to figure out who she's on the phone with. So I hang up with my daughter and try to get the phone from her to see what she's doing, who she's on the phone with. Oh, excuse me. So she moves the phone to her side, and the side that she moves the phone to is the side that her port for her shunt is at. So y'all, I grab over there and I accidentally grab her shunt, her port for her shunt. So she starts screaming and, oh, I'm trying to kill her. I immediately let go. So now she gets on the phone and pretends, she's definitely pretending, y'all, because if she really called 911, then they would have came where we were at. So she pretends like she's calling 911 to report an assault, and she's gonna drive me to the police station so that I can get arrested. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, that's what I want you to do. That's fine. Like, I'll be in the safety of someone who can see exactly what's going on. I would love for you to drive me to the police station, please. That's where we need to go. We definitely need to go there. By this time, my phone rings, and it is the actual police. And my daughter called them. And they're like, hey, Miss Henderson, we're trying to check on you. We're trying to see what's going on. Are you okay? You know, what happened? Do you know where you're at? Are there any landmarks so that we can, meet you there? Because your daughter is very concerned about your safety. She said that your ex-girlfriend is a little romantic, that she is abusive. She's been verbally and physically abusive. And we just want to make sure that you're all right. And I told him that, she didn't do anything to me physically. I told him I'm not familiar with the area, so I couldn't tell them exactly where I was. There were no landmarks, y'all. She drew me in the middle of the country. Like I told you, like the gravel dirt road is what was there. It was like a bunch of farm area. So I didn't know. I honestly didn't know where I was. And, it was like, well, can we speak to her? And she didn't want to get on the phone. She just kept driving. So I didn't know what was going on. The police wanted me to stay on the phone with them the entire time. So I basically stayed on the phone with them. And eventually she just, I don't know, she came back to, I don't know if she zoned out or whatever, but she ended up coming back towards civilization. So I was telling them, landmarks by this time. And she started driving me back to the areas that I was familiar with. And she ended up driving me all the way back to my apartment. My girls were there safe and sound. I told her, I said, you're not welcome to come in. And she said, well, I need my meds. So I went in the house and I gathered all her medicine. I gathered her some, I didn't even have to do this, y'all. I gathered her some pajamas, some PJs. I gathered her some clothes and put them all in a bag and brought it out to her. Excuse me. And she thanked me or whatever, and she left. And it was crazy. It was very much so crazy. That was pretty much the end of her living with me. We got the police involved to get our things from each other because she had my stuff in her storage and she wasn't trying to give me my things, and I had a lot of her stuff in my house which I held because she had my things in storage. She broke my Samsung flat screen TV. She ripped the cord out of the bottom of it and then ended up giving it back to me. I needed to get some things resolved with my car at the time. We were so used to using her car that my car just sat. I did the unthinkable because she wasn't willing to help me financially after we broke up. She had a Lillian Breedfield, what was it? It was Poured by Lillian, but it was a Claire Taylor baby. And I sold that doll, y'all. Sure did. Definitely did that. I needed the money. She wasn't willing to help financially. I mean, that's not something that I'm proud of. It sucked when I had to do it. That is something that I'm not proud of at all. And like I said, it did suck for me to have to do it. I hated that I had to do that because I knew how much she loved that baby. But sometimes we have to do what we have to do. She claimed that she forgave me after I did it, but she tried to still hold it over my head. You guys, we did continue off and on to see each other, but we just didn't live together. My lease was almost up, and I was letting her know, I'm moving back to Georgia. I'm getting as far as I possibly can away from you because we are not good for each other. Y'all, I don't know if I'm having allergies or something this morning, but Jesus, we are not good for each other. Thank you, whoever said bless me. But we are not good for each other, and I just need to go back home. I don't have a village here. I don't have a safe net here. I don't have anybody that I can trust here. I moved here to help you, and I can't even rely and trust you at all. And so it's time for me to go. And she would do everything that she possibly could to try to get me to stay. She begged me. She begged me even to let her live in my apartment and continue to pay the bills while I was gone. Who was going to do that, girl? I don't even trust you with my sock at this point, so no. You will have to figure out your own situation. She was living from pillar to post, y'all. She was living out of her car with friends, crashing on couches, whatever she could do, because, baby, she couldn't stay with me. That was a no-no. We weren't doing that. But she was trying to wine me and dine me and, you know, all of that stuff to try to get me to continue a relationship with her. And I kept telling her that I'm not interested in doing that. Like I said, this might be a little bit too much information, but I'm not a promiscuous woman. I'm too old to be doing all that type of thing. So, yeah, we were still intimate with each other, and that's only because I didn't want to pursue anything with anybody else, and I'm a woman. I have needs. Hello. So that still went on, but other than that, there wasn't no real relationship at all between us. She did end up helping me and my kids pack our U-Haul up to move back to Georgia, which I mean, as she should have. I did so much for her. That's what she should have did. Did we still communicate when I moved back? Of course we did. It wasn't easy for me to get out of that situation like that. So we did still communicate off and on. I even went back to Alabama one time. She bought me a ticket to visit her just to see. I wanted to see if she, if it was possible that she had changed. And narcissists, we want them to so bad. We want to believe that they can be good people. We want to believe that they can change. There is a part of humility in them, just a little bit. Like maybe 30% of the person is an actual person. But they've been through so much in their life, y'all, that they're not human. They're evil. And, because I wasn't under her spell anymore, she didn't have that grip on me anymore, it was easy for me to get out of that situation after I left that state, because she didn't have, that influence. You can't control somebody from another state. Like, it just doesn't work. And, we slowly started to fade out. We had gotten to the point to where I didn't want anything to do with her anymore. I knew that she was lying about a lot of things. I knew that she wasn't trustworthy. I did feel guilty, you guys, for selling her doll. So I know everybody's been wondering where my Dasha is. Baby Keisha has my Dasha. I definitely gave her that blank partial silicone, even though her baby was full silicone, but her baby was an older sculpt. Dasha was brand new, just came out when I gifted that blank kit to her. That was for me, and some people probably think I'm stupid for that, but it wasn't for her, it was for me, because I'm not that type of person. I've never been the type of person to do something malicious towards anybody. That's just not in my character. That's just not in my heart. And I hated the fact that I was in a situationship where I had to do tit for tat, because, y'all, like I said, that's just I'm not that type of person at all. And so it set heavy on my heart, even though she did a lot of stuff to me. She did a lot of stuff, in my life. It set heavy on my heart that I sold that doll that she loved so much. So yeah, that was my peace offering. After that, I kind of wiped my hands of the whole situation. I did go no contact. She has emailed me. She has called me from other numbers. She has tried to reach out through other people. Her recent thing that she did, you guys, is because she stole my dog. I never got my dog back from the lady that was watching him while I was in Alabama, and my dog recently passed away. So that was a reason for her to call to let me know that my dog passed. And it was disgusting when she called me, you guys, because I could hear in her tone that she was smirking and that she thought it was funny that didn't get to see him, and I know she thought that was hilarious. You could hear it. You could hear it in her tone that she thought that it was funny. So yeah, it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. She lied about so much stuff, you guys. She oh, I almost forgot. Let me catch this to y'all. After I moved back to Georgia, she stated that she got pregnant for me. She stated that she went and did IVF. That was the first lie. Then she lied and said that she was raped and ended up with being pregnant with twins, and she didn't really want them, but she wanted to raise them with me. How delusional and how disgusting is that? I told her I'm not interested in doing that. I'm not interested in raising any children. I raised my own already. My last one is almost out the door. She's pretty much about to be, college bound. I'm not interested. And so she claims that she was stressed out so bad that she lost one of the twins, and then she gave birth prematurely to the other twin, you guys. She sent me pictures of somebody's baby in the incubator. She said she named her Miracle, and that she was going up to the hospital every day to breastfeed her. Y'all, then she said that she gave her up for adoption. Something is really, really wrong with this individual. She's very much disturbed. People from her job have reached out to me because they knew that she was lying about her pregnancy. Stuff wasn't adding up, so they reached out to me. Several people in the doll community that know her have reached out to me. She's a scammer too. She would say that she was about to sell custom pieces to people, and then she would make them and she would never send them out. She has sold so many of her dolls but never sent the dolls out to the actual people. I helped one young lady get her baby. I wasn't able to help the other one, but she has done that too, to the point where Cash App and PayPal shut down her shit because she was not being sending out people's things. She's very clever at that too. If you go in Reborn Dolls of Color, her name isn't Keisha, you guys, so you gotta be smart if y'all really know who she is. There's posts made about this individual, and it goes from years ago. Posts not by me, but by other people who didn't receive their products that she had purchased. So she used her seizures and her sickness as an excuse to why she doesn't get people's stuff out on the time. She's mingling in new states now, you guys, to do doll meetups. So just be very careful and cautious who y'all talk to about y'all's life and who y'all let in, because people are psycho, okay? And I was the perfect sucker. I was the perfect target for this woman because I was grieving, and I'm an Aquarius. I'm very empathetic. Well, I used to be, y'all, because Little Miss Ma'am, she got me all the way together, y'all, because it's very hard to penetrate this now. My antennas go up and my intuition is so strong now. I mean, it was strong before when my wife was here, but it's funny though, y'all, because I called her my protector and she called me her healer. I heal people, but she protected people, and she protected me from a lot in this world. And without that protection and going through what I was going through, like my intuition just was not where it needed to be. Just that whole incident, everything that happened to me, like, it was just a lot, and I am so glad that it is over with. I'm very cautious now. Sob stories, good, y'all. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're going through that. Like, I know. And there are people who prey on people in this hobby. And she was just one that was able to penetrate. But y'all, after her, there were more. And I love to do more story times. So I'm going to tell y'all about some other crazy shit that went on in my life in this community. And yes, it's part of this community because I met these people in this community. So I will definitely do more story times. They ain't gonna be this many parts though. It'll just be one story per video or whatever. I just want to share with y'all some of my experiences, because people just really think that, because we're playing with dolls, that this is just a lollipop, gumdrops, a love, hug, peace and light community, and it's not. There are some sick, twisted ass individuals that come in this community just to prey on people, and I want to share some of those stories with y'all. So I don't want to take up too much more of y'all time. Y'all, I have arrived at work and it is time for me to go in and clock in. I wish nothing but the best for everyone, and I hope you guys enjoy y'all's week. Hopefully I can get this up for y'all soon. But that is the end of Who the F I Made a Baby Doll With. I don't want to drag it out any further, y'all. That's basically in a nutshell how everything ended, and I'm so very grateful that it did, but I know she's still lurking. Hey girl.